Hello everybody, I am Kyle Edward from This Is Drive, and today we're going to be doing a buyer's guide review on the 2018 Cadillac ATS-V Coupe. Now this means I'm going to be going over some pricing information, some of its competitors, and also some of my thoughts for the week that I was driving the ATS-V Coupe with the manual, and give you guys, my true thoughts and impressions after having the car for a week, and let you know how I think it stacks up against its peers. Now there are a lot of really awesome cars at this price point in this segment. We have the M3, we have the M4, we have the S4 by Audi, we have the C63 AMG by Mercedes-Benz. They're all in the mid to high 60s for starting price. Now the ATS-V does edge out the competition a little bit there in regards to price, as it starts at around $62,500. But again, it's a $3,000 or $4,000 really going to make a big difference between buying a Cadillac or, let's say, Mercedes-Benz C63 AMG at this price point. Probably not, but still, nevertheless, it is still something to be considered as a little bit of an advantage. And when it comes down to where the different vehicles fall into place, obviously some are going to be a little more performance oriented, others a little more luxury orientated. Now I will say for the V in particular, these Cadillacs are really built for the track, and they're really going to excel at the performance side of things, right? The handling and a lot of the different technologies that Cadillac has built into these cars to make them some of the best driving on the road. Now you may be saying that all sounds good and wonderful, that the ATS-V is one of the best driving cars on the road, but how exactly does that boil down? What does that mean for me? So first let's start with the engine. The ATS-V is powered by Cadillac's 3.6-liter twin turbocharged V6 engine, which puts out 464 horsepower at 5,850 RPMs and 445 pound-feet of torque at 3,500 RPMs. That gives us a 0 to 60 time of 3.8 seconds and a segment best top speed of 189 miles per hour. So obviously with that said, it's an extremely quick vehicle. Again, it's right up there with the C63 AMG and the M3, M4s of the world. Now, the engine's great, we know that, but what about, putting the power to the wheels? What kind of options do we have there? So we have two choices. We have either a 6-speed manual transmission, that's the TR6060 by GM. It's a rather famous manual setup by them. It's been used for a very long time, incredibly reliable, very bulletproof, and excellent 6-speed manual if you ask me. It has a couple nice features on it. Now we have active rev matching, right? So that will anticipate the next gear selection and electronically blips the throttle to match engine speed, creating a seamless gear change. Definitely a great feature. I really love it. It really helps aid too when you're driving in traffic and things like that. It just makes the whole experience a lot easier. It has no lift shifting, right? So this is part of the performance traction management system. It allows gear changes without the need for the driver to take the foot off the gas pedal, keeping the engine at full boost and maximum power, continuing through the chain of gears. We have launch control as well. It enables, obviously maximum offline acceleration by keeping those RPMs high and just kind of launching it. The next option we have here for transmission, we have an 8-speed automatic, also with full manual control being via steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. The transmission, as far as the two go there, my money is on the manual. I've heard a few negative things about the automatic being a little bit slow at lower speeds. Still a good performance transmission, but if you're really looking for something that is going to provide you maximum control, then definitely would go with the manual for sure, as it is a phenomenal transmission. So now we know it has an excellent engine, really good transmission options, again, especially on the manual side. When it comes to the automatic, companies like BMW and Mercedes-Benz are just, quite frankly, going to have, a slightly better automatic transmission. Those vehicles, they just put a lot of money and effort into making those automatics for those, and they're just really highly refined. Now, back to the Cadillac. The other thing where we have a nice little edge out on the competition, right, is with the magnetic ride control. And so that is a very famous system introduced by GM. It has liquid magnets in the shocks, and also can read the road faster than the other vehicles. So it is a class-leading system. So if we need to make the suspension a little bit stiffer here or there, or a little bit softer, we can do it quicker than the other vehicles on the road, therefore giving us better handling capabilities than other vehicles. When we look at this car as a whole, right, I mean, it is definitely, again, one of the best performing vehicles in this segment. Now, where we are going to start to fall a little bit behind is with the interior. It's still good and exciting, and definitely puts forth a very dynamic driving experience. We have leather wrapped seats with micro suede inserts. They have Recaro seats. They're very comfortable, and they also can adjust the side bolsters, the leg bolsters, and things like that, which is pretty cool, and quite frankly very comfortable. But when it comes to some of the materials that we have used on the interior and the door panels, and just how things feel as far as the fit and finish goes, comparing this car to, let's say, a C63 AMG, just does not feel as solid. Now, that might not be a big problem for a lot of people, as they are going to be using this vehicle for it's definitely racing type. They're just really interested in the performance, and in that case, this is probably the best option for you. But if you're looking for something that's going to be a little more luxurious as far as the interior, then this probably isn't the best option for you. The Q Infotainment System, it's the next generation. It works good. I do like it. It's much more responsive. The screen's clear. It's not. I didn't experience any glitches whatsoever. It's easy to look things up. It's connected with OnStar, which is nice. We have Android and Apple CarPlay integration, so you can go that route as well, which is fantastic. Now, lastly, looking at the exterior design, I personally have always been a fan of the Cadillac ATS. Now, whether we're talking about the V or the Coupe, the sedan, the regular, I really dislike all of them. Right? They're very angular. They look very sporty, and I definitely love the long droopy headlamps. Now, the V specifically has a deeper, longer front fascia for aerodynamics, and the rear diffuser in this car too also has the quad pipe tail exhaust, which looks phenomenal. So it's very aggressive styling. We can see the huge Brembo brake calipers peeking out through the 18-inch wheels, which are of course inscripted with the V logo. Again, lots of V logos on this car, on the side, on the rear, inside, on the steering wheel, even again on the wheels themselves. So some nice little styling points there. A special unique grille, slots in the hood, of course, for greater cooling efficiencies and things like that. Yeah, so overall, I really did enjoy the ATS-V Coupe. Again, with the 6-speed manual, an excellent driver's car. If that's what you're after, you really just can't beat it for the money. Well, that's all we have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed our buyer's guide review of the 2018 Cadillac ATS-V Coupe.